there were a lot of ways that we could have gone this week. We could have gone with Notre Dame having another big game, but we didn't really want to do Notre Dame back-to-back. You could have made an argument to go Kansas at Texas, but OU Texas is the next weekend. Utah, Oregon State, which Ryan mentioned earlier. But what we settled on is number 13 LSU traveling to number 20 Ole Miss. This game kicks off at 6 o'clock? I put 6 o'clock, and I can't remember if I put down the Eastern time or my time, but kicks off at, I think, 6 o'clock Eastern on Saturday. Check your local programming. Both of these teams are 3-1. Guys, what do we expect? Dives, what do we expect from this one?
Yeah, I think the LSU offense has a really nice advantage over the Ole Miss defense. First thing you got to talk about with LSU is Jaden Daniels and Malik Neighbors. Those two are must-see TV every time they're on the football field. Jaden Daniels has really cemented himself this year as one of the top SEC quarterbacks this season. He completed 30 of 34 passes, 361 yards, 2 touchdowns in last week's win against Arkansas. On the ground, he also had 77 yards and rushed for 2 more touchdowns. Jaden Daniels is putting up video game numbers right now. And that was arguably last week's performance against Arkansas was arguably one of the best performances since the Joe Burrow days in the purple and gold. So you look at Jaden Daniels' numbers, man, they're consistently atop the SEC. He's second in passing yards. He's second in yards per attempt. He's second in passing touchdowns, third in QBR. And then you get to Ole Miss, and I'm kind of disappointed in them. Yeah, they're 3-1, but they're still not playing as well as I think they should. And for me, that boils down to their offensive line. That just has not been good enough. Alabama sacked Dart 4 times in the first half last week. Dart was under pressure all game long. The Rebels O-line was one of the best run blocking units in all of college football last year, if you remember. In 2023, they brought back 4 starters. They returned 4 starters, 4 of those being seniors. Quinshon Judkins is arguably one of the best, right there with Katron Allen and Nick Singleton of Penn State as the best running back underclassmen in college football. Judkins had the seventh most rushing yards in the nation last year. And so for me, that's where it starts. I think sometimes the best defense beats a great offense. And if Ole Miss wants any shot at taking down LSU, the Ole Miss offensive line has to dominate. Judkins has to dominate time of possession, and that's where it starts.
This will be the 109th meeting between these teams. That's just crazy. College football rivalry that goes all the way back into the late 1800s. 1894 was the first time these two teams played. And with 108 meetings, the longest win streak is only 6 games. That's remarkably balanced.
Wow.
LSU has won 6 out of the last 7, with Ole Miss winning most recently in 2021. So Ole Miss will be trying to. The last 2 times Ole Miss has won this game, they've ended the season ranked in the top 25. So we'll see if Ole Miss can pull off the upset. I assume they're. I actually didn't look at the spread. I would assume LSU's favored in this one.
Oh,
I
yeah.
should have looked that up.
I mean, LSU is loaded with talent. Mason Smith is an interior defensive lineman. That will probably be a first-round pick. They've got, who am I missing? Mekhi Wingo, probably a day 2 defensive tackle. Omar Spates is probably a day 2, day 3 linebacker. But Harold Perkins, if you haven't heard of him yet, he's a linebacker, edge rusher. Play more linebacker this year, but a guy that is arguably the most athletic player in the nation. He will be a top 5, top 10 pick in the 2025 draft. That's how good he is.
LSU is currently favored by 2.5 in this one. So,
Yeah, 2.5.
2.5 point favorites. Ryan, anything that you want to chip in on this one?
Yeah, listen, I'm pretty impressed with Ole Miss. Their offense, their receiving game. They have a trio of wide receivers there. Jordan Watkins, Dayton Wade, and my boy Trey Harris, who all he does is just catch touchdowns. Yeah, I absolutely love this matchup. And yeah, the one thing I can tell you in doing the quick research I was able to do for this is always bet the over in this game. Out of the last 10 times these two teams have played, 9 times they've hit the over and hit it well. So I think 67.5 right now is the over under. Smash that over for any of you bettors out there. But yeah, listen, this is a classic SEC matchup, and honestly, I think there'd be a lot of points scored on the board, and I'm looking forward to hopefully an upset by Ole Miss or Louisiana.